Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Rifyal Rosidin. C class fourth semester, and now we are talking about two videos. And let's do it. Hi everyone. Did you know that almost everything we touch today contains plastic? From the clothes we wear to the phones we hold, plastic is everywhere. Today we are going to dissect the long journey of plastic, starting from its invention once hailed as a technological miracle to how it eventually transformed into a global crisis, threatening our planet. Some plastic object the first. Let's look at the two main videos that form the basic of our analysis. Video 1 by Kurt Zek provides us deep dive into how humans have turned the world into plastic planet. This is video emphasizes that plastic is a synthetic polymer, unique because it is virtually indestructible by natural means. Then we have the second video from TED Ed, which take a much more personal approach. It tells the story of the journey of three different plastic bottles after we throw them away. We are invited to follow their life cycle. There is the first bottle that ended up with in landfill, the second bottle that drifted far into the past ocean, and the third bottle which is lucky enough to be researched by a recycle plant to be born again as a new product. These two perspectives give us a complete picture of the plastic life cycle, from its creation in the factory to its final destination. The depth behind this plastic crisis is truly staggering. When we dig deeper, since plastic began to be mass produced, humanity has created over 83 billion metric tons of it. To make that easier to visualize, that amount is equivalent to the weight of 1 billion adult elephants. What's even more shocking is the fact that 40% of all this plastic production is actually used for single use packaging item we use only once and then discard in mere seconds. However, the scariest part is the reality that only 9% of all plastic ever made in the world has actually been recycled. The rest, a massive 79% is still out there, accumulating in our soil and our ocean. Imagine, every year, 8 million tons of new plastic enter the sea at this rate. By the year 2050 is predicted that there will be more plastic waste in our ocean than peace. This isn't just a common trash problem, it is a real biological threat to our entire planet. Now let's start analyzing how the stories are delivered throughout their video structures. The first video uses a systematic approach called the problem solution pattern. It clearly identifies the main problem as a failure of global infrastructure, then offers technical solutions such as improving waste management in the 10 major rivers that contribute the most pollution. If we look closer, video 1 focuses much more on the history, explaining the origin of plastic over the last 100 years in depth to give us the context of why this crisis happens. Systematical. On the other hand, the second video uses a chronological patterns. Its focus is on the sequence of events by personifying the battles as if they had life. This video successfully creates an emotional connection with us. Unlike the first video, the second video focused much more on the real impact, such as lead and microplastic in the ecosystem. Additionally, the second video feel more optimistic about solution because it saw how recycling can provide a new life. Overall, the second video feel more emotion in its delivery because it used storytelling techniques. So if the first video feel like a scientific report giving us heart back, the second video feel like a dramatic story that touch our feelings. This brings us to a critical question. What if a plastic had never been invented in the first place? Perhaps we would have successfully saved the ocean from plastic pollution. But on the other hand, we might have hunted elephants to extinction to take their ivory as a raw material for luxury goods. So plastic is actually a double-edged sword. However, let's look at the future with optimism. What if every single bottle we use today was actually recycled without exception? We would successfully stop the toxic liquid called that it from poisoning our groundwater. We could also prevent the formation of massive garbage patch in the middle of the ocean. If we always choose the path of the triad bottle, the recycling path every single time, we could drastically reduce global energy consumption because recycling is far more energy efficient than producing new plastic from crude oil. The small choices we make every day are the turning point that defines the future. In conclusion, the plastic crisis teaches us that the material itself is not the enemy. Our management of it is. Every bottle discarded carelessly is a toxic legacy that haunts our ecosystem for a millennium, eventually returning to our own bodies. So the food chain, this is no longer just about aesthetic, but about regarding the health of future generation. We must decide, will we remain passive contributor to pollution or become a brave part of the solution. Real change begins with the awareness in your hand. When you hold your next plastic bottle. Okay, thank you for taking the time to explore this crisis with me. Let's make this moment not just a school achievement, but a turning point to start reversing single-use plastic and protecting the only earth we have. Remember, nature doesn't need human, but human desperately need nature to survive. I'm Rifyal Rosidin. Let's start this change from ourselves. See you in the next video. Stay mindful and stay grand. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.